Good morning, sixth graders. I hope you guys are doing great today. Today is going to be like the previous 2 days where we're going to do social studies first. I'm going to kind of zoom past that because we do most of that in Zoom, no pun intended. And then we will have our language arts time. So really quick, student announcements. It's always so slow the first time. All right, so this is next week's Spirit Week. It looks like Monday is all one color day. Tuesday is beach and Hawaiian day. Wednesday is baking day. Okay, yeah, that's cute, in a chef's outfit. Thursday is mix and match, and Friday is Halloween covers. I don't know why this is kind of messed up, but anyway, wear your school colors tomorrow to earn Cat Paw cash points. I still owe some of you those from last week, but I will get them to you. All right. Individuals in society, social studies, we're doing CSI. These are your teams for today, which you already know because we've already talked about it. Or not your teams, but your jobs. Okay, your assignment, same thing that we've been doing. There are the job descriptions. Today you will go into Otis, and today you're going to be working on slide 6. Good job. No one has submitted it yet, so let's keep it that way. Thank you so much. And now heading into language arts. We are going to start off with our book talk, Every Soul a Star by Wendy Mass. I absolutely loved this book. I love the title. And it's about these 3 kids who meet at Moon Shadow. It's an isolated campground, and a lot of people are there right now because there's a total eclipse of the sun. So all these people have come to camp there because they can get a really good view and stuff. And the 3 kids there are all very different, and it talks about just their different perspectives and how even though they're so different, they become friends and things like that. And it just talks about how even with all of our differences in life, how each person has such a valuable place in the universe and is an important part of life. So anyway, I loved this book. It's realistic fiction, and it's just kind of a mellow, calm, but really good book. All right, so yesterday and the day before we read 11. Today we are going to talk about 11 and things like that before our assessment on 11 tomorrow. So here was a summary of 11. This is what you were supposed to write yesterday for part of your independent work. So this is my summary, and so yours does not have to be the same at all, but I just wanted to show you some of the main points. So when you're writing a summary of a story or an article, you always need to have the title and the author, and usually the exposition in the first sentence or two. So in the story 11 by Sandra Cisneros, it is Rachel's 11th birthday and she is at school. Okay, so I've told about the main character, I've said the title, the author, and the setting. And now I'm going to go through and do the beginning, the middle, and the end, and wrap it up with a theme. When her teacher insists that a horribly ugly sweater is hers, Rachel wishes she could be her future age and stand up for herself. So that's kind of like the beginning, middle. Instead, she cries that, Instead, she feels the age, all of her past. She feels, I don't know what I was saying there, sorry. She feels all of her past ages rising up and cries like she is 3. Rachel realizes, so that's like kind of the end. And then Rachel realizes that when we become a new age, all of our previous ages are still a part of who we are, and sometimes those parts come out. So Rachel learns more about herself in this story. That's kind of the theme. And we haven't talked about theme a lot this year, but one thing about theme is that a lot of stories have multiple themes, and some themes might be more obvious to you depending on just your perspective and point of view. All right, so in the springboard, we're going to go ahead, and we talked yesterday about conflicts. We are going to list some of the conflicts that Rachel faces. Most of Rachel's conflicts in this book are internal, meaning they are part of who she is. She's at conflict with herself. She is at conflict with her teacher a lot just because her teacher is kind of rude and not very understanding. So one of the conflicts that Rachel faces is Rachel wishes she weren't 11. Okay. And this, I'm going to put an I for internal because that's something that she feels inside. And is this conflict resolved? No, she is 11 and she has to be 11. Okay, hold on. I'm going to, whatever. Well, I'm going to bullet this really quick. Maybe if it's easy. Okay. All right. And now, okay. So Rachel wishes she weren't 11. Then Mrs. Price accuses Rachel of leaving a red sweater in the coat room. Okay, this is an external conflict because here Mrs. Price is kind of the problem and she is the one that is causing Rachel to have conflict. So is this conflict resolved? This conflict is resolved because later in the story we find out that the sweater belongs to Phyllis. Sorry, I'm getting all taking your time with my formatting, but okay. The next conflict is Mrs. Price makes Rachel put on a sweater that is not hers and smells like cottage cheese, kind of gross. Okay, and that's external as well. And Mrs. Price is only able to do that because she is an adult and Rachel is a child. If Rachel was older, she would have been able to stand up for herself. So is this conflict resolved? Yes and no. She gets to take it off, but she is humiliated. The upsetness and embarrassment and sadness of the event lingers with her. So she got to take it off, but she still feels sad about it. Okay, so that was kind of yes and no. And then another one is Mrs. Price speaks harshly to Rachel. She doesn't really seem to consider Rachel's feelings. And is this conflict resolved? Not really. She just seems like she's not the nicest person in the world. Okay, so another, okay, and by the way, and I should have told you guys this, you are filling out, this is question 7 in your textbook. So you should have done this yesterday. I don't remember if this is one of your questions yesterday, but if not, you should be doing it along with me. Okay, and I should have said that at the beginning. I'm sorry. Okay, another conflict. Wait, and that's explicit too. Or I'm sorry, external. Okay, and just so I can keep that all on the same line, I'm going to make it a tiny bit smaller. All right. Okay, the next one. So Rachel speaks harshly, or Mrs. Price speaks harshly to Rachel. Rachel can't keep her feelings inside. And she cries. That's an internal conflict. And does that get resolved? No. Poor girl. All these unresolved conflicts on her birthday. Okay. So Rachel can't keep her feelings in and she cries. Then Mrs. Price, that lovely, lovely lady, doesn't apologize to Rachel. She just acts like nothing happened. And is this conflict resolved? No. Hopefully Rachel gets a nicer teacher next year. Okay, and then the last thing, Rachel thinks her day is ruined because of what happened. Okay, and is this conflict resolved? Not in this story. It may be resolved later, like when Rachel goes home and has a happy birthday with her family, but in this story, it's not resolved. So lots of conflicts in this story were not resolved, but those are just some of the problems that Rachel faces. Okay, and if you go back up to my summary, this last sentence is a part of the conflict. What Rachel realizes is that she's still all of these other ages. That's why she cries, and that's why she's not her older ages yet. So that's why she can't defend herself to Mrs. Price. All right, so thinking about theme. We often get the theme from the conflicts of the story. And the theme is the message or lesson the author wants the reader to learn or to be able to think about when the story is finished. Theme in stories and literature and books is like the counterpart of main idea in nonfiction. So main idea in nonfiction is what theme is to fiction. Okay, so some common themes, and this is not any of them really in 11, are good versus evil, friendship, courage, perseverance, teamwork, kindness, and honesty. If we were talking about Boy of the Painted Cave, we could say probably that good versus evil could be a theme. Friendship could be a theme. Courage could be a theme. Perseverance could be a theme. Teamwork could. All of these, like a lot of them, you could make a case in Boy of the Painted Cave that they could be a theme. And that's because Boy of the Painted Cave is a longer work, so it will have more themes. Okay, and when you're thinking about theme, ask yourself, what was the problem in the story? So if you don't know what the theme is, you ask yourself these questions. What was the problem in the story? What did the character learn? And how did the character grow? Okay, all of those can be incorporated into theme, or can help you figure out the theme. All right, so your turn. You are going to answer question 8 in your Springboard book, and that is writing about the theme of this story. So you're going to write a short paragraph about the theme, okay? And then that will be that. So that is language arts and social studies for today. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Happy Friday Eve. I will see you all tomorrow.